Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to a new episode of Season 2 of Batwoman, on to Episode 3 this time. Last time we had Ryan officially, by the end of the episode, Ryan officially taking on the Batwoman mantle and actually agreeing to, well, she kind of, poised herself up first, saying that, she would take on the mantle, but I think we're still at that stage. It's early in the season, early in this story, and Luke especially is still kind of optimistic and hopeful about Kate having survived the plane crash and returning. So he's like, okay, fine, you can be Batwoman until Kate's back, because we still need a savior until then, so you can take on the role until then. But we did see her suiting up before that with, some sense of enthusiasm and passion for justice and delivering a message. But then Alice came along, and we had Ryan and Alice's kind of first run in, and they had a brief fight scene, which was cool to watch. But I think the main kind of aspect so far has been that both Alice and Kane and even some of the people have kind of noticed that this isn't the same Batwoman as before. She is a different person now, especially physically. She is no longer a white woman. She's no longer a white woman. So that was, and I think it's interesting to see the different. I mean, most notably, I think only Jacob has had that kind of reaction, like of actually immediately recoiling as soon as he sees that it's not actually Kate under the mask as of yet. So I think seeing this new reaction now, seeing the public's reaction to the fact that now it's a black woman with a completely like a mostly different kind of life experience as well, who's actually leading the Batmantle this time, is going to be interesting to see. But yeah, and Ryan has to actually recoil from her own struggles of actually adhering to the no-kill code. Like, Luke actually spent a significant portion of the episode actually drilling that into her, that, Batwoman has that one priority code, which is no killing, don't kill anyone, no matter how much you hate them, no matter how much you want to hurt them. And Ryan, having lost her mother to her adoptive mother to Alice and her goons, has a very, very significant bone to pick with her, which we saw pretty much since the beginning of this season. So I think it's going to be interesting seeing how, like, just how much she can actually stick to that code, and just how much she actually kind of makes inner threats, like internal monologuing threats against Alice at any time she sees her and stuff. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. But now we can go forth seeing Ryan officially being the new Batwoman, and seeing what challenges she takes on, what enemies she takes on, what new enemies she makes as Batwoman. I mean, I'm curious to see if they'll actually bring any canon villains into this story, because I think we've got Sapphire. Sapphire's coming in. I don't know much about her story, but Sapphire is the one who actually was responsible for Kate's plane malfunction and the plane crashing, so she was the one who actually targeted Kate to begin with, so she's coming. And even now, she's actually Alice has angered her, because Alice actually brought the Desert Rose back to Gotham and actually infested all the bats and then set the bats loose on the public. So the Desert Rose has been taken away from its actual natural habitat and used in like a foreign kind of population. So Sapphire's angry about that, and then she sent Tatiana, one of her people, to deliver the message and say that like Sapphire will want you dead for what you've done with her property and everything. So now we're ever closer to meeting Sapphire. I think I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen in this episode, because she actually did knock out Sophie and Alice at the end of the last episode, and said that Sapphire will want to see you pay for what you've done. So we should see her. But I'm curious as to what other kind of Bat family villains we might see. Like, if we're gonna see someone like Riddler or Scarecrow. We had like the Fear Toxin playing a bit of a role in the last season, so I'm wondering if we'll actually get Scarecrow in this one, or if we might get maybe Lady Shiva. Lady Shiva would be a really, really great one to see. I think I'm not too sure. I mean, I think she might be a villain. I'm pretty sure she's a villain, or at the very least, like a self-serving villain, like an anti-hero maybe. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure she does fall under the pantheon of villains. But Lady Shiva would be a great villain to see, introducing them. And if they do decide to go further down the kind of assassin route, maybe do like a Batwoman version of the League of Assassins. I mean, they've already been done and dusted on Arrow's side of things, so if they go down this path, then I think, I don't know. I mean, League of Assassins might be a bit of a stretch, but I think if we get Lady Shiva, then that would be cool. That would be cool to see, like, see just how many villains, or just what type of villains Ryan can actually take on without fault. So yeah, but Sapphire is coming, so we'll get her. So now we move forward with Ryan as the new Batwoman, and Julia and Sophie are no more. They kind of, pretty much did confirm their breakup in the last one, and Julia even questioning whether or not it was because, you know, because of what Kate said in the letter, or if it would, or if it was because Julia herself wasn't Kate, she wasn't that same person that Ryan Sophie was in love with before. So now we move forward with them no longer being together. So that sucks, but. Yeah, moving forward, I think I can see maybe 1 or 2 relationships forming in the future on the horizon, but I think right now they do seem to want to focus more on building Ryan up as Batwoman and actually cementing her place in that stand. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see just how much time they actually have for romance in this season and what routes they actually go down. But you know, I think it's fair to say that fans do have some ideas up their sleeves. So whether or not those ideas come to fruition, we just have to wait and see. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That is it. So on to episode 3 of Batwoman. So this will be the highlight reel. As always, if you guys want to catch the full-length reaction for this episode, that is going to be over on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. But yeah, on to episode 3 of season 2 of Batwoman. Let's go.
You order something, sweetie?
Oh, she's got AirPods in. She can't hear you. She's got AirPods in. Damn it.
Your wife back home did.
Oh, damn. Oh, he's cheating. Oh, she's a cheater.
She wanted you to know.
Oh, yeah.
She was willing to spend.
Oh, yeah, she's dead. She's dead. Oh, and they're dead in bed together. Dead in bed together. He's undressing. Whoa. Oh, I know. That's Victor Zsasz. That's Victor Zsasz. That's what he does. He marks his body with his victims, like a tally mark. Oh, damn. Oh, he is, yeah. Yeah, he's a hitman, alright. Yeah, that's a lot of victims. That's a lot of victims. Oh. Even below the belt. Even below the belt. There she is. That's the Batwoman. Still finding her footing.
We don't have an inexhaustible supply of those, right?
Yeah. It's not like the Arkham games. You can't just keep spamming freaking batarangs. Yeah.
Luke, I need a good comeback. Luke!
Sorry, nothing's
No, really? Nothing's coming. That smirk on your face suggests otherwise. Yeah, just go with the kicks. Good old-fashioned kicks and punches. There we go.
Yes, I am the current owner of the holdup.
The hold-up. Oh, the bar. The bar.
Ryan Wilder's parole officer.
Oh, so she works at the
Hi.
bar. Yeah, she's the employer. Okay.
Did I just hire Ryan for a bartending position? Yes.
Yep, yepity
Yes,
yep.
I was very
Okay.
impressed. It'll explain why we'll be hanging out together all the time.
Plenty of alibis. Plenty of alibis. Yeah.
Luke said I'm only keeping the suit warm.
You have a gun in your lab. What kind of a scientist are you? Safety's on.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm wrong.
You should have taken the shot when you had the chance. Jesus.
Wait, you're a multi-billionaire. Why am I only making $12.50 an hour at the holdup?
Well, we can talk about it.
Name translates like a baby's butt or something?
It's really good stuff.
Yeah.
You
Baby's
Track the
butt,
baby's butt.
of all
Yeah, I got
things. Yeah, track the baby's butt. That is a beautiful shot. And that is Sophia Sohail. Yeah. Also very pretty. Also very pretty. That's a lot of
One
food.
last meal before the slaughter.
Yeah.
This is my way of saying no hard feelings.
Food is a great way of sending that message. No hard feelings. Have food. Have dinner. Yeah.
Battering.
Somebody used them all.
Oh,
Run out?
Use the bow staff.
yeah. Use the bow stuff. Yeah.
We're all waiting for
Boom.
something to happen.
Yeah.
Can I make you a drink?
There's a button hidden on the side.
There's a button. It extends. Come on, right.
So I take it
Boom,
you're the
there we go.
replacement.
Yeah.
Kids today, no sense of history.
Yeah.
Depends on the
Not gonna
history.
sweat some freak who uses his skin as a knife sharpener.
Because I don't see the Batwoman in you. And maybe that's because I don't see the you in Batwoman.
Okay, Ryan, do not let this shit get to your
Wanna know
head.
what I see?
Yeah, just take him
Is
out.
it-
Just take him down.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, crap. Okay, that was unexpected. That was most definitely unexpected. Dude had a whole freaking bazooka under that table. Yeah.
Word on the street. Your last job went sideways. That mean you're available for hire?
Ah, so he uses Mary's money to actually hire out a hit. Okay.
I want you to take out Alice.
Oh, damn,
The
Alice.
Wonderland gang killed my mom.
Oh, this is a personal mission for for Ryan.
So whose price do I need to beat? Alice broke the cardinal rule of the island.
Don't take out the Desert Rose.
She tried to leave and take a desert rose flower with her.
Yeah.
History is littered with colonizers who come with their false ideals and pillage for their own profit.
Yep.
The
This
African
is,
diamond
yeah.
trade, oil in the Middle East.
Light her PO. Throw a pep rally every time she does something right.
We're her team. She's the bat.
She's a stand-in who fits in the suit until Kate comes back.
Except she's not.
How can you say that? After everything we've been through.
That was the scan from last month. This was from yesterday.
Is it spread? Or is it gone? Is it all gone?
Where'd her cancer go?
It's all gone. It's been cured.
Stage 3 cancer?
Okay, meaning what? That every person on this list has a miracle drug running through their veins?
Oh my god.
Oh, Christ. Oh, is Zsasz here? Zsasz is here. Victor Zsasz is here. Oh, no. Oh, damn. That is a decent knife throw. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, yeah, new hair. New hair. I love that. Loving that. Is it new everything? Oh, it's a new suit too. The suit's design has changed. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh. Oh, nice. She's got it mastered. Yeah. Okay. Wish I could have gone on for longer, but it's still cool.
Comfortable now.
Yeah, it still looks cool. I'm loving the new suit. I'm loving the suit.
I so dig the new wig.
Yeah. Oh, I love the red ends, the red tips. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Oh, jeez. Mm-hmm.
You took everything from me.
Oh, damn it.
That's Kate's necklace. If I blew up Kate's plane with her inside, how could I possibly have this?
So Kate's still alive.
Very definition of vigilante is one who acts without recourse to lawful procedures.
Well, yeah, but she's awesome. Fine. Let's talk about Ryan Wilder.
Yeah, the face behind the
Spoke to
mask.
your employer.
Damn, literally just left on the side of the road. No.
Why is that not a good thing?
Because Sophia spared you, which means she has a crush on you, which is all very well and good until it's not.
Why are you still alive?
Sophia and I need each other.
And she has a crush on you too.
Toodaloo.
Oh, a new Batarang. Just a one?
I got a few more made.
Okay, alright, fine, yeah. A few more, yeah.
I'll work on my aim.
That'd be great.
Great.
And I wanted to say I'm sorry for being so hard on you. You kicked some major ass yesterday.
I get it. You miss Kate. But I need you to give me a chance. A real chance. Till she's back. Let me make some upgrades to the Batmobile.
Okay.
Just have red smoke coming out the back of it, yeah. That'd be a really cool upgrade.
I'm not giving the boss a photos from dude in a black mask.
Black mask? Do you know... Should I take that too seriously? Is that an actual reference or what? Like doing a black mask or like a black dragon snake mask thing? I don't know.
Maybe we can ask her when we find her, sir.
Oh, she's gonna be.
Kate's alive.
She's gonna relay the information. Yeah, me nodding along to that music at the end of every episode is gonna be a tradition. It's gonna be a tradition for season 2. That's gonna be how season 2 goes. Every end of the episode, I just bop along to the beats of the end credits theme. Okay, yeah. So this was a very, very eventful episode. I literally don't have any more space to. I mean, I do have space, but if I write anything there, it's gonna get jumbled up with other words, and it's gonna look just messy as hell. I mean, it already does. But I've written so much down from this episode. It was so good, so eventful, and so much happening, and so many people in it. But with people, so we met both Sophia and Victor Zsasz. Because Victor Zsasz, I think the stuff I want to say on him is a little bit smaller and easier. I want to start off with him, Victor Zsasz. So we get Victor Zsasz, and I think my knowledge on Victor Zsasz as a character is fairly limited to the Arkham games. He was in Arkham games, most prominently Arkham City. He was like one of the side missions available in that, and he was the guy kind of going around killing people, and then he is known, he kills people, and then he actually draws the tally mark all over his body. I mean, the way they execute that in this, I didn't really think they'd go below the belt. I mean, I don't think he goes there, but he did actually do it on his thighs and his legs and everything, and then he actually started running out of space on the rest of his body, so he actually then started to carve into his head. So yeah, that is what he's known for. He kills people, and then he actually you know, carves the tally mark on his body. I didn't think. I mean, I don't know if he's actually an assassin or if they made him an assassin for the show, because, like, to my knowledge, he's more of a serial killer. To my knowledge, he's actually more of a serial killer. Like, he's one of those types of villains, and the GCPD and Batman try and track him for years, and he gets away with it. And, like, to my knowledge, he is, like, more of a, like, he does it more for self-gain, and because he's actually, you know, psychopathic more than doing it as a hitman. I think for him, I think it's an interesting enough twist. I think that was what felt weird to me. Like, oh, okay, Victor Zsasz, I recognize him. And I think as soon as I saw the tally marks, because, like the tally marks are pretty much his signature. He doesn't really leave behind anything that shows it's him, but if you see him afterwards, he actually does, you know, mark his victims on his own on his own skin. So that's how I knew, oh, tally marks, I'd recognize that anyway. That's Victor Zsasz, so that's cool. But then him being a hitman felt kind of, okay, that seems new. I'm not familiar with him being in that particular line of work, and especially working for other people. He's always seemed more like someone who does this, especially in the Arkham games. He has that kind of a persona. He's actually doing it because, you know, he's self-serving. He does it because he kills because he enjoys it, and then he marks himself, and Batman is the one target he can never truly get to. That kind of thing. So that was interesting for this, and I think even for this, he definitely had that kind of demeanor too. Like, he definitely had moments where he definitely seemed psychopathic, and, like, especially, like, that line towards Mary at the end, like, you know, oh, like, so, like, that line about, like, you know, like, inflicting pain on those who enjoy it and stuff, and that kind of stuff seemed a bit psychopathic, and especially, like, him being like, oh, it's all about the chase makes it more fun, and he, you know, spends it, like, a few seconds at least monologuing before he actually goes straight for the kill. So he's psychopathic in that sense, but I think with this one, that, like, they actually did go to the efforts of actually making him, like, a believable hitman. But yeah, but him having that kind of background just seems weird, because of, you know, like, at least because of how I'm kind of more used to seeing him as. Like, I'm not used to seeing him as a hitman. I'm used to seeing him as, like, an actual serial killer who works for no one but himself. So that was interesting. And he's not dead. He is knocked out and presumably arrested and, you know, probably sent to Arkham. He definitely is like an Arkham Asylum type of killer. He definitely is that, like, in like up there with, like, Harvey, like, Two-Face and Cobblepot and everyone else. So it's good that they actually maintained something for him. But yeah, and Ryan knew him too. So I mean, with Ryan knowing him, I figured it was just because, you know, like, Ryan's history of being in prison for, you know, what she didn't do. She was, you know, she mentioned it before, she spent a significant amount of her life surrounded by criminals and watching them go in and out, and, you know, being surrounded by them and stuff like that. So I figured that, you know, because of that, Victor Zsasz would be one of those, that, you know, he would just be like one of the killers in Blackgate, maybe, because that's where she was. I thought maybe he would have been sentenced to Blackgate, and then maybe he broke out or got released or whatever happened, but I don't know. But she I think when Ryan met him as Ryan, she kind of, you know, I mean, she either revealed the truth or made a ploy that she was Angelique's ex, and that, you know, she and, you know, like, apparently Zsasz knew Angelique, and she hired, like, him out and stuff like that. So she knew how to get to him. But then, yeah, that scene as well, like, so Ryan actually, so I don't know if the comms were turned off for that, or if it was, like, I mean, it likely would have been, but I think, you know, like her, no, her I think Ryan, especially knowing who Victor Zsasz is, she actually tries to, tries to, employ him out on like an emergency hit on Alice, actually calling out a hit on Alice and seeing what's happening there. But then he's actually been employed for that hit already on a much higher amount of money. So that struck me. I mean, for Ryan, I think that would. I think for Ryan, I feel like that would just be like a good enough loophole. Like, I mean, it would still be morally wrong. Like working with an enemy to actually take out another enemy. Like, it would be like the most kind of, the most outside of the box version of enemy. If my enemy is my frenemy, or whatever. But I think it would be a good way of. I think it would be like a somewhat smart loopholey way of actually trying to get through trying to get to Alice without breaking the no kill code. So yeah, I didn't kill her. I just employed one of the most professional hitmen in the world to actually kill her himself. So yeah, but I think it makes sense that she. I don't know if she was trying that to actually try it, or if it was just her actually or if it was her actually just using more time, because I think she needed more time to actually get the device to track onto his phone and get all of his information. But then she actually needed to keep him there, so I think maybe she played that card as like a double-edged sword. So on the one side, she actually is asking him if he's able to actually kill Alice for her, but then on the other hand, it's like, okay, I need to come up with something that's good and believable, and actually manages to keep him here. So yeah, so that was interesting. But yeah, Zsasz, I think Zsasz might have been the one who blew up the plane. Zsasz might have been the one who blew up the plane, because I think Zsasz, like all of his past contracts, or they searched through his email history, and all of his past contracts have been employed out to him by Sapphire. So that does then raise the question of whether or not Sapphire actually called out the hit on her. But then I think the most logical answer is that Zsasz was employed out on a hit. I think maybe, yeah, I don't know. Because, yeah, so, I mean, Sapphire seemed adamant that Kate was still alive, which we'll get to soon. But, yeah, I don't know if she's then just playing Alice, or if she actually did call out a hit on Kate's plane and then had Zsasz going in to corrupt the plane part and then, doing something else. But I think Zsasz might have been the one who did it, and then maybe Zsasz kind of frames it back to her and does it, because I don't know. I think Zsasz had to have some kind of involvement. So I guess moving forward, we'll probably see exactly how much involvement he had in it, and if it really was just more on Kate, or maybe it was like a way of maybe that was her way of actually getting to Kate. That it was actually blowing up the plane, but then actually making sure that Kate still survived. Because she didn't have her suit. So I mean, I don't know. She didn't have her suit, and there's no. I think if she used a parachute, I'm considering maybe if he actually left behind a parachute for her, maybe she used that, but then she would have actually landed somewhere else, and it's outside of the search zone, maybe. And then knowing that he gave her a parachute, he actually then tracks down, someone within that radius, and then Sapphire gets to her and actually picks her up and keeps her trapped. Oh, I don't know, maybe. I'll get to that stuff soon. But yeah, Victor Zsasz, he was a very, very cool character to see. And I think especially for a one hit episode, because I think he doesn't really seem like a seasonal villain, like a villain for the season. So Sapphire, given how much they've built her up over the last season, having her be this season's main villain seems very, very much kind of fitting. But Zsasz definitely seems like a one, maybe two hit episode kind of wonder. He doesn't really seem like someone to keep around for too long, but someone with experience. He's even fought Batman. So that's knowing there's that history too is very, very cool. But yeah, that will be that is interesting. That's very interesting. So they're likely keeping him around for future reference. But yeah, we had Victor Zsasz. We had him. So Sapphire and the island, 70%, 80% of my page is just dedicated to Sapphire notes and island notes and Desert Rose stuff. So yeah, I feel like that's very much worth talking about. One disclaimer I will say, I forgot that the Desert Rose was actually the cure-all. I was thinking for a second, the Desert Rose, it sounds sinister, it sounds ominous. I feel like it might have been the poison, but no, the toxin was just another poison that Alice gave to Catherine and Mary. So the Desert Rose was the actual cure. That was the cure. That's actually something you want to keep around. But yeah, no. So this episode we get a fairly glamorous look at the island and at Sapphire and the Desert Rose and everything and all the people. So she, yeah, So she has a history. She has a history with Alice. Definitely, like Alice. She actually, I think, yeah, no, this the whole island stuff, right? It reminds me a lot of like this, like the background of Wakanda, from Marvel. Like Marvel, like the way she describes the island and the way she describes the Desert Rose. Like the Desert Rose is their most precious resource, and it can't be allowed to others. And especially her mentioning like colonialism of other countries, like people coming in, pillaging and stealing the resources and claiming it for their own and misusing it even. For other nefarious purposes, and her keeping the Desert Rose and the island hidden from outside surveillance or outside viewing because she knows the dangers of the outside world. Like so many of those descriptions and those kind of like that kind of analysis of the island and the Desert Rose reminded me of Wakanda, like Wakanda being like keeping itself hidden for so long because it saw how the outside world treated each other, and they did not want to lose any of their resources or any of their kind of kind of intellectual and technological prowess to the dangers of the outside world, like that kind of stuff. Definitely kind of screamed Wakanda, and I think overall, it reminded me of Wakanda, but I think overall the concept of that just kind of like, just definitely kind of seems familiar, of like a country being so civilized and so kind of advanced in its own resources that it kind of avoids sharing that with other countries, knowing what the consequences could be, and knowing exactly what, like knowing what other countries and other kind of civilizations can be. I mean, I'd say other civilizations. I think humanity as a whole is just one civilization. So I don't know if that is a term that can actually be applied in this situation. But like the way she described it was very, very familiar, and I think it kind of shows that she herself is not evil, but if you cross her, then she will have to punish you. She will definitely have to reprimand you in some way, which is exactly what the case is with Alice. I think Alice, she mentioned that Alice was rescued, and I think that as well, like Alice being rescued, like so after she left the Cartwrights, so the old man was in the wind, and she had lost her mouse, her friend, and everything. So should I think I don't know if she was found with Mouse. I think she mentioned that Mouse was in the wind, and the old man had actually booted away, and he kind of escaped somewhere too. So she actually found Alice being lost and alone and afraid, and took her in, and then trained her and groomed her to be the ultimate kind of fighter and ultimate weapon and everything. So that reminds me of Sarah's background in Arrow from the League of Assassins. Like Sarah was found by the League after she crashed aboard the boat. I mean, yeah, like she crashed, and then she had a bit of time in Oliver's 5 years. She was actually with him for a little bit, and then that had some conflicts of its own. But then once she left them, then she was actually found by Nyssa and the League of Assassins, and then she was trained among them and stuff like that. So I think for the League, their most precious resource would also be the Lazarus Pit, that actually brings you back to life and stuff like that. So that would be their precious resource. So I think all these different kind of secret hidden islands and societies and kind of secret hidden groups have they hide themselves because they have a resource, and they're they know the price of actually sharing it with the rest of the world, and exactly what the rest of the world would do, like capitalism and colonialism, all these different isms and stuff. So definitely seemed like a mix of that, like a mix of the whole Wakanda thing, like having their most precious resource being mined and fueled and stuff, and then of course the League of Assassins stuff mixing in and actually training her to be a killer. I mean, yeah, I don't know if Alice would count as an assassin so much, because I think she does. I mean, I think she would be like a self-serving assassin. Like she would not work with someone else to kill someone else unless she knew there was something decent in it for her, and even then she would only consider it. She wouldn't really say yes to it. So I think she trained her to be more of a fighter and a survivor than anything else. And then after 5 years, not so much in hell because she was trained and given shelter and food by Sophia. So and I love that too. Like she brings her back, and it's like, oh, is this your way of poisoning me, just introducing me to a great feast? And then so like Sophia's like, no, this is my way of saying no hard feelings, just like a table full of food and stuff. So after 5 years on the island, Alice then escaped, but I think she left, and then she actually took a piece of the Desert Rose with her. She actually took a Desert Rose flower with her, which was a big no-no for Sophia. So that is her beef with her, and now it's now she is convinced that someone is framing her, that someone actually framed her for Kate's death, but also that Sophia actually has Kate in her possession. So Kate is not dead, so we can actually move away from that then. Kate, I kind of take, I mean, my anger in that moment, in that episode, after that first episode, was because thinking that they actually killed Kate off instead of actually just fridging her for now and actually bringing her back in a future episode. So Kate is actually still somewhat within the vicinity. She's still alive. She's still out there. And Sophia even mentioned that she's not, she's not, she's smart enough to know not to have Kate and Alice together on one island and stuff. So she actually was on another island, and then once Alice left that island, she would then leave, and then she would actually bring Kate back and store her there. So Kate's still out there. So I think that makes you wonder: would they bring Kate back? Would they actually bring Kate back, or is this like another lie being told by Sophia? Is this Sophia actually lying to actually get Alice on her side, or to keep Alice stalled and try and give her false hope? I don't know, but she definitely has some information, and she definitely insists that she was framed for the letter and for Kate's plane going down. So I guess we have to wait and see. And I think in regards to Alice, I'm kind of curious, because I think in this show's run, she's always kind of she's always seemed to have somewhat kind of like a flirty like demeanor towards most people, but most notably women. Like I think there was I can't remember what his name is, but there was that one guy who was actually like a mole inside the a mole inside the Crows. Like right from the get go, right from episode 1, he was a mole against the Crows, and he was secretly working for Alice. There was that one guy that she seemed to, I don't know if I'd say loved, but she seemed to have like a little bit of a thing with him. I mean, he definitely seemed to have kind of romantic affections towards her, but whether or not that was reciprocated, or whether she was just stringing him along, is another story entirely. But there was that one guy, but then I think mostly towards women, like Julia or Sophie, not Kate for understandable reasons, or like Mary maybe. I mean, maybe not even Mary for also understandable reasons, but like towards women, she's always had that kind of like a flirty, kind of like a vibe, like a what's the word I'm looking for, like a output, or like an energy, pretty much. I don't know what the right term I'm looking for is. There's a word on the tip of my tongue, I can't find it. And I think even in this episode, she seems to reference that quite a bit too, like saying stuff like, oh, Sophia likes to usually likes to watch, or like making kissy faces at like Tatiana. And stuff. So I'm wondering if Alice actually is like maybe like bisexual, or if she actually has like a history with women, like, or if like she is just kind of generally kind of I think, I guess it wouldn't be illogical to say that that's her way of drawing you in, actually weakening you, like giving off like a flirty or a passive like kind of swaggerous kind of swagger, pretty much, and then she actually lures you in, and then she actually attacks you and pins you down or something. But I wonder if maybe because like she doesn't really seem like afraid of approaching people in that way, but especially with women. So I'm wondering if she actually does maybe have like a deeper history with Sophia and maybe Tatiana the winner, because I think Tatiana especially, she seemed kind of adamant that Alice be punished. So I'm wondering if maybe it's just because of the Desert Rose, because I think the Desert Rose thing, that seems like a more general guideline. Like Tatiana seemed like a bit more pissed off than just with the Desert Rose. Like, oh, she came in like, I'm wondering if she's the Nissa, maybe. I'm wondering if Tatiana is the Nissa to Alice, that if Tatiana is to Alice what Nissa was to Sarah, like Alice seems more like an outsider who was taken in by Sophia, and then she was perfected to be the perfect fighter and the perfect survivor, and then maybe Tatiana and Alice had a thing like Nissa and Sarah. Just I think with Tatiana, it seems like like again, you'd be reasonably pissed off that someone would take the desert flower and leave, but then that's like okay, you just have to trust that Sophia, being the fair and just ruler that she is, you have to trust that she will find a way to track down Alice and then punish her accordingly. But then she seemed, I think maybe it's also the fact that she left as well. Like Alice left, she used it. Like she spent 5 years with them. She trained under them. She actually got to know them in those 5 years. Maybe things even happened in those 5 years, and then she left. Like maybe that's what Tatiana's pissed off about and stuff. So I don't know. Like I think I'm calling it. I feel like I have to call it. It's either Sophia and Sophia, I think she seems more like someone who has to have a personal connection with people, because she's that kind of a leader. She has to actually get to know people and read them and try and understand what their goals are, and actually whether or not they're actually worth keeping around. But Tatiana, I think Sophia doesn't seem like someone who'd actually spend one-on-one time with someone unless they actually deserved it, which Alice definitely did. But then Tatiana seems like more the one during those 5 years who would have actually spent more one-on-one time with Alice. And I think Sophia maybe wouldn't have trained her directly either. Like she like knowing that, you know, Tatiana is one of her best killers and one of her best trained fighters, she actually would have assigned more time between Tatiana and Alice. So Tatiana seems someone who's more like hurt by Alice's actions and Alice's departure and now her return. So I'm wondering if there is actually that kind of a history and what that history is. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Alice does actually have a thing for women, or if she actually does have a history with women in the past. It's not been referenced, but I think the way she acts, the way she is, it seems like she is definitely kind of like unapologetically open and stuff. So I'm curious, and I think especially being on an island with these people, again, you would get to know them, you'd kind of have to trust them, that, you know, and they would trust you in return, and they'll actually train you up and build you up as a new, stronger person, and like they might even be attracted to you in that sense. So yeah, I can't help but think maybe Tatiana and Alice actually have that kind of history together, and maybe that's actually what she's pissed off about. But I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. So yeah, and even Alice is mentioned towards that too. It's like you know, oh, like we're both alive, and especially telling Sophie, oh, you're alive. That's not a good sign, because I thought because like, you know, I think in any other situation you might get like, you know, oh, that means she's coming back to kill you later, or maybe she actually holds an even bigger grudge against you now, and she's just using you to get you to do whatever she wants, and then she'll kill you later. But then now she's like, oh, that means Sophia has a crush on you, so maybe she, you know, like she actually has experience with that, and actually, you know, like Sophia actually, you know, mentoring her and actually getting closer to her and stuff. So again, all these different hints and stuff, it just kind of feels like there's actually something there that, you know, only certain people can kind of see. So I don't know, but I guess we will see. We'll see. And then yeah, we had Ryan filling in her shoes as Batwoman. She kind of had some trouble kind of finding her footing and actually delivering the one-liners and delivering the quips. I mean, it was a good comeback to be like, oh, does it actually, like, does this clear things up? Like she like, you know, like the I think the false face society dude trying to discredit her as Batwoman, and then she's struggling to come up with like some kind of a comeback line, and then she's actually referring back to Luke, and Luke doesn't say anything, so she has to try and just, you know, throw in the kicks and punches to make it work. But then that actually did work. Like in between kicks and punches, she's just like, you know, like, does this clear things up? Do you believe I'm Batwoman now? So she's finding her footing. She's definitely finding her footing, and even by the end of the episode, she actually manages to, you know, upgrade the suit, to update the suit and actually make it fit more towards her, and it actually looks different too. Like the actual designs, the markings, the actual layout of the suit looks different now. Like it's actually fit to her now, and I think I'm wondering how she did that. Like did she know where like the tools were? Like did she because it looks almost like a different suit. And I think the hair as well. I think the hair is a great touch. I think I love that too, because like with Kate, it was the entire thing. Like she had like a whole new wig that was just like fully red hair, but with Ryan, it looks a bit more. It has a bit more style to it. Has a bit more flair. Like, and especially like the actual black kind of the black like majority black hair, but with the ends being like frosted red tips. Like that is a really nice touch. That is a really nice touch, and it's very well suited to her. And it's of course like how she actually feels better with the wig, and how she looks better with the wig and everything. But the suit itself looks a lot different. So I'm kind of curious as to how she put that together in such a short time. But either way, it's a badass suit, and she definitely feels a lot more comfortable in it. And now she's cementing her place as Batwoman. And yeah, I think one thing I definitely liked is the little bit they had at the beginning and towards the end of it, like about the batarangs, like her running out of batarangs, like her repeatedly throwing batarangs and then missing the first couple of shots, and then actually firing the final shot into his leg and stuff, and him being like you know, like you want to be careful with the batarangs, and like they don't last forever. There's a very limited supply of them, and it immediately flashed me back to times playing Arkham Asylum. Just constantly spamming the batarang throw, and I swear, I doubt I'm the only one who did this, but there were times when I actually couldn't be bothered to actually physically fight them, even even though it's a video game, but like there were times I couldn't be like, I mean, sometimes I want to get creative with it and see how long I could last, but sometimes I actually just couldn't be bothered, and I just end up actually, you know, just spamming, you know. I mean, I think it depends a lot on like how many enemies you're fighting. If it's like more than 3, you might have like a tough time, but I think depending depending on the amount of enemies, like sometimes you actually can take them all out just with batarangs, because I think that actually works. Like you actually throw in, like it takes a few minutes, but you actually throw enough batarangs and eventually you will actually knock them all out and the fight will be over. So that actually, it reminds me of that, like, you know, you play the Batman video games, you just have an unlimited supply of batarangs, you can throw them all out, and you know, if you have the remote control batarang, that comes back to you, and stuff. So you have an unlimited supply of batarangs in that. But with this one, with the actual show, with live action stuff, you actually have a very, very limited kind of supply, because there's only so many places you can actually keep the batarangs, and you have to actually be smart about them and creative with them. So he made a very good point there, and even towards the end, he actually made her new, more curved batarangs and stuff. So she's actually getting new gear that actually fits her, and a new suit and new gear and tech that actually fits her as the new Batwoman. So she's actually making her mark. She's making her mark and actually finding a way to actually fit into the suit as well as the name. So yeah, it was cool. It was very, very cool. But yeah, Ryan also had a couple of meetings with her parole officer, and she actually managed to secure a job at the Hold Up, and I think that makes sense. That does make sense, and I think, you know, her working at the Hold Up too, and also her hanging out with so much there with Mary as well, like it kind of provides her with plenty of alibis forever she was, in case the police need to question her about being the new Batwoman, which I can't see happening anytime soon, but we'll see how the series unfolds. But yeah, she actually got a new place at she was able to confirm like a new job placement at the Hold Up, which is very, very cool. And also, and her accommodation, I don't know what she's going to do about that. I was thinking maybe she could live at Wayne Manor, but not Wayne Manor, Wayne Enterprises even. But then that would also beg the question of actually, because I don't think that's actually like an actual like a livable place. Like Wayne Tower, like it's not like an actual like a living like a habitable kind of place of accommodation. Like it's where Wayne Industries kind of operates out of, and it's where the Batcave is. And the Batcave does have a room in it, and it does have a bed, but I don't know if she can actually sleep there. She actually needs like an address that they can actually track down and send stuff to. So yeah, I don't know what she's gonna do about the accommodation just yet. I think Kate had an old apartment. She could probably move in there and like keep that place up and running, especially if Kate does come back and she wants to move back in. They can actually keep the place up and running and keep it warm for her. So that'll be useful. But yeah, Ryan's pretty much finding her way through. She's finding her way through, so it's actually good to see her making some progress in her actual average everyday life as well as her Batwoman life. So it's cool. And yeah, we also have the False Face Society, but we also have the False Face Society, so they wear like little like dragon masks and stuff, like this, like kind of like dark, I think at some points it looked dark red, but then I think the Crows mentioned it was black. But the False Face Society is a new kind of, I guess, like a gang running throughout Gotham, and they are giving out drugs that are called Snakebite, and they contain a mixture of mushrooms and fear toxin. So Scarecrow's fear toxin is still doing the rounds. Scarecrow himself is nowhere to be seen, but his formula, his toxins are still doing the rounds, and he's still his fear toxin is still being used like in other compounds and other mixtures and stuff. So that's interesting. So I feel like they might play a decent role in this. I think for the episodes maybe that might not be as Sapphire focused. I think for the episodes where maybe because it seems the False Face Society is the new target of the Crows itself. So when Batwoman actually needs to work with the Crows and ally with them and help them with their cases too, then it seems like the False Face Society is going to be a common threat, a common enemy. So they're going to be investigating them together, so it's going to be cool to see what they have. But then, yeah, so the picture so towards the end of it, they had a picture of a guy with no name. They had no name to the picture, no identifiable kind of ID, but they had a picture of a guy, presumably in a black mask, and they mentioned black mask. And he said, I'm not just going to show, the guy said, I'm not just going to show the boss a picture of a guy in a black mask and not give him anything more than that. So I didn't know whether to take the whole black mask thing literally or figuratively, or because I think the masks they wear, I think when we saw the masks, they were fairly, it was at night, it was fairly dark, had like a dark filter, so it was kind of hard to tell if it was actually black mask or if it was actually like just like another darker version of the color. But then them saying black mask, it kind of got me thinking about, the Black Mask, aka Roman Sionis, aka the Black Mask. I don't know if they actually bring him into this, because I don't know if he does like drug trading, or if he's in the drug dealing business. I think knowing him, he's more likely in in like black market weapons or like arms running or something like that. So I don't know if he's gonna be connected. I mean, we got Victor Zsasz. I think I would not hold it against them or like doubt them in bringing in more villains like that. So I think it would be interesting to see. I think it would be fairly fun to see. But I think I don't know if I'm meant to take that black mask referencing literally, or if it literally is just like a coincidence of some kind that it's literally just a dude wearing a black mask. But then for Black Mask, that literally is his thing. He wears a black mask. So yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But the False Face Society, they're a thing. They're definitely a thing. And yeah, Mary and Luke were on opposite ends of the spectrum in this episode. Mary being of the mindset that Kate can't possibly have survived the plane crash or the plane explosion or whatever it was. She kind of went down the route of she went from miracles can happen to so can tragedies. She's like relying on the science and probability and stuff like that, like the odds of surviving a car crash or and anything else compared to actually surviving a plane crash. I don't know what the statistics are on actually surviving a plane crash. I think it's like you're more likely to. Is it encounter or survive? I don't know. I've read a statistic somewhere, but I don't know if it was actually like you're more likely to encounter a plane crash or so. I mean, if you encounter a plane crash, then your odds of survival go down pretty quickly. Like if you encounter a plane crash, if you're in the plane when it's crashing, the chance of survival is very very kind of slim. But I don't know what I read, like if it was about encountering a plane crash or surviving one, because if you go on a plane, you always kind of ever so slightly up the risk of actually encountering one to begin with. But then if you encounter it, then your survival just takes a pretty much. So yeah, I don't know. I do not know what those odds are, but I think Mary kind of likely did her research, and she was kind of confident enough in the power of probability and statistics and everything to actually know that Kate probably isn't. I mean, holding on to Kate's memory is okay, but holding on to the belief that Kate could still be out there and that Kate could still be alive and that she's okay is what's less healthy, and at some point you need to move on, and Mary is of that mindset. And I think it also helps that she also has Ryan in. I think having Ryan in her life now definitely helps. It's less that she's actually moving on to Ryan, and more the fact that she's actually accepting that Ryan is here and that she wants to stay. Like no one has forced her to become the Batwoman. Like Ryan has idolized the Batwoman for so much for so long. So she's and she has the experience, and she even has the experience required to be a vigilante like that. So she's actually more than happy to be the Batwoman, even if it means doing that while Kate's away. So I think Mary has kind of latched onto that and actually used that to help her move on instead of using that in order to move on, if that makes sense. So yeah, and I think she also kind of knows the kind of price of hanging on to someone's memory for too long, like hanging on, or at least like she knows the price of actually hanging on to someone's kind of onto the belief that someone is still alive for too long, kind of. But yeah, I think she knows that it's a safer, much healthier bet to actually move on and actually just believe in like a brighter future than to kind of cling on to the hope that she could be back or that she survived somehow. And Luke brought up a good argument of like everything they've been through, and now a plane crash is what it takes for Mary to lose hope and to move on. So I think Luke was there from the beginning. Luke was there from the very beginning. He was the first person to know about Kate being Batwoman. So there's like that obvious kind of bond that's been cemented, and he doesn't want to have to let go of Kate or let go of like the faith or the belief that she's gone now, and I think he's willing to. I think he's willing to actually accept Ryan as the new Batwoman. So long as everyone agrees that it's a temporary stand-in and not like a permanent job offer. Kate is still out there. She needs to be rescued and needs to be brought back and stuff like that. So I think it's more like loyalty and friendship more than anything else, and he's actually willing to, hold out hope in that sense. And he's even kind of chastising Mary for like giving her so much praise or for giving her so much faith and hope and acceptance and stuff like that. Like why are you letting her slide into this role so easily? Like, Kate is still out there, we need to find her, we need to bring her back and make her Batwoman again. and stuff like that. So I think I think they weren't really at each other's throats, but I think seeing Mary and Luke kind of being on opposite ends of that kind of argument was interesting enough. And I think, moving forward, I think, Luke definitely did apologize to Ryan at the very end of it, saying that, he was sorry he treated her so harshly, and, while he still might actually hold out hope that Kate is alive, he will definitely actually fight to give, he will definitely try and give Ryan more of a chance to prove herself and to actually prove that even if she's a stand-in, she's still there. She's still there. She doesn't need to be treated like a temporary stand-in. Like she doesn't need to be reminded that she's only temporary, and that as soon as Kate comes back in, she's getting booted out of Wayne Tower or whatever. But she just needs to be treated like an actual person and given the respect that she deserves for actually having stepped into this role to begin with. So it will be cool to see how Luke and Ryan's relationship evolves in the future, and seeing exactly what path they go down. And yeah, I think now that Kate, I think that's the thing. Now that Kate is actually somewhat now confirmed / rumored to be alive, I think it's because it's a fire. We don't really know much about her except that she employed the guy who likely killed her, or at least tried to kill her. So I don't know, like it's kind of unclear to me right now as to whether we actually should believe Sophia or whether she's actually lying. Because she seems crafty. Like she seems like a woman who knows what secrets to keep and what secrets to actually let people know of. So I don't know whether or not to actually believe the kind of the story element as to whether or not Kate is actually still alive or not. But because then if she is still alive, that then raises the question of when are they going to bring her back? How are they going to bring her back? And what are they going to do once they brought her back? Because like Ryan is just now getting into the role of actually, of actually being the official new Batwoman. Actually, and the public being aware of her too, like that she, a black woman, is now the new Batwoman. And stuff. So I think it's kind of it's weird to actually bring it back then. It's weird to bring that part of the story in just as Ryan is actually fitting into the role, and then that raises more fan theories and questions as to is Kate Kane really dead? What's going to happen to her? Is she going to be brought back? Is she going to be the new Batwoman again, or what's going to happen? But I don't know. I think because of that, Sophia might just be lying. It might just be a red herring she's throwing Alice's way, because she needs Alice right now. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, no, I think, she could, I think she's lying about Kate being in, I think she knows that Kate was in fact targeted. Kate was clearly shot at the plane. She actually did, I think maybe what it could be, right, is that she hired Zsasz to take out Kate, but then she never expected Zsasz to turn tail on her. Maybe this is the first time Zsasz has actually tried to throw the leash back Sophia's way. So he was never meant to actually unveil that it was actually Sophia that called out the hit. So now maybe she wants Alice's help taking out Zsasz. Maybe she knows that Zsasz betrayed her. He actually revealed to Alice that Sophia was the one who actually ordered a hit on her, so now maybe she needs Alice's help to actually track down Zsasz and make him pay for the betrayal, and then in the end she actually maybe kills Alice too, or I don't know, something. But I feel like that's the way it might go. So she I think that would also saying that she's smarter than having Alice and Kate on the same island all at once is a smarter way of saying that she actually doesn't have Kate in her possession or in her custody, but she's pretending that Kate is still out there, that Kate is still alive. And even Kate actually had the picture on her phone tagged Sophia in the corner, so Kate was actually investigating Sophia in some sense of the word. So I feel like that might be the more plausible explanation, but I guess we'll see. So yeah, that is it. That is pretty much it. A lot to talk about. A lot. I think I'm hoping I have covered everything, or at least most of the things. I think most of the things I want to talk about I've covered, and everything I remember kind of being noteworthy in my head and in my notes. I feel like I've covered everything I wanted to address. I've addressed. If I've missed anything out, or if you guys have any thoughts of your own that I haven't mentioned, or just any of your own thoughts in general, comments are open. Have at it. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got for this one. It was a very, very fun episode, so I look forward to seeing what they've got in store for us next week, and seeing how the story continues. So yeah, that is it. That was Batwoman Season 2, Episode 3. So thank you guys, as always, for being here and so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and bun I like bun. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Batwoman. Once again, the full-length reaction is going to be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is it. So, I will see you guys next time.